An estate is the degree of ownership a person has in real property. There are two types of estate that we will discuss: a freehold estate and a less than freehold estate. A freehold estate is an estate in which ownership is for an undefined length of time. The three types of freehold estates are fee simple absolute, fee simple defeasible, and a life estate. Fee simple absolute is the greatest interest in a parcel of land that one can possibly own, sometimes designated simply as fee. This form of ownership cannot be defeated by the previous owner or the previous owner's heirs. However, it is not free from encumbrances. Fee simple defeasible is an estate that may be owned for an undefined amount of time but possibly may be voided at a later date because a condition was violated. The estate has the possibility of being defeated, hence defeasible. For example, Bob conveyed title to Andrew with condition that if Andrew sells alcohol, the title will go back to Bob. A life estate is an interest in real property which is held for the duration of the life of a designated person. It may be limited by the life of the person holding it or by the life of another person. For example, Anne can give a property to Dan for the life of Anne. Dan would be the life tenant. A life tenant receives the property and is responsible for maintenance of the property and for paying taxes. If a life tenant allows a property to deteriorate, it would be committing waste. A life tenant cannot commit waste. A life tenant also cannot leave property to anyone in their will. A life tenant may sell, mortgage, or lease the property for the duration of the estate. Thus, all contracts would be terminated upon the death of the life tenant. If Dan dies and the property goes back to Anne, Anne would have the estate in reversion. But if Anne dies, then the property would not be Dan's because he had it as long as Anne was alive. Upon Anne's death, the property would go to Lisa. Now Lisa would have the estate and remainder. This concludes the section on freehold estate. Now let's move on to less than freehold estate.